I had no idea how to start. No roadmaps, no one to help me, nothing. I was at absolute zero. I remember the day that I started selling candy in middle school. A little over a year ago, January 2025, I had absolutely no idea how to start a clothing brand. I was new to ecom. I had no way to learn. I had no mentor. I had no one to teach me the path of how to become successful in the ecom world. But before that, I was 14 years old, and I remember the day that I started selling candy in middle school. I remember that day I used to hustle every kid for a chocolate candy bar for $2, a Kit Kat for $3 if it was king size, a Gatorade for $2. I remember those exact moments. And that's when I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And fast forward to 5 years from middle school, now I finished high school and now freshman at college. I remember every step, how I learned. And it was just a crazy moment. It was like surreal. Like time flew by, first of all, and second of all, I learned so many lessons along the way in business. And now I'm 19 years old, and I just started my ecom journey a year ago in January. Now, obviously, before getting into ecom, I had a bunch of different other companies. Obviously, I started middle school with selling candy and exotic snacks to my friends. And then from then, I just kept doing that for a little while. Then I went to TikTok Shop, and overall, I just had so many different businesses. I also started investing, and all these taught me things that I never knew I would need until now. I wanted to build something that there wasn't enough of in this world already, and that's why I started Lift Apparel. The whole goal was to create something that people would be proud to wear, not just a shirt they put onto the gym or to wear out and then it just shrinks the next day or the prints just fall off. I wanted to be proud of what people wear on their body. And like I said earlier, I had no idea how to start. I had, once again, no roadmaps, no one to help me, nothing. I was at absolute zero. I had to learn everything myself, and I'm still learning till this day. And I'm gonna be honest, I had moments that I thought my company was gonna completely die. I thought it would just fail. I had those moments. Every entrepreneur goes through those moments. But I really put in my mind that I wanted to build something of my own that will be remembered forever. But before even starting my own ecom brand, Lift Apparel, I've always been in the gym. There has to be a reason why you want to start your ecom brand. And for me, it was because I've always been into the gym. It's a way for me to just feel free. Just let all my stress, all my emotions just go as soon as I enter the gym. It goes away. And that's when I really started, I guess, working hard on myself, working out more, learning more, because I realized I did not want to be normal. I did not want to get a 9 to 5. I did not just want to be a normal person, not liking their life. Now, no, hey, if you do have a 9 to 5, because a bunch of 9 to 5ers make a bunch of money, but I didn't want to be that typical person. I want to be something different. I want to invest my youth while I'm still young into building something that will last me for the future, for generations to come. But going back to the topic, talking about how I started Lift Apparel before it was even called Lift Apparel, I remember once again buying all the gym clothes that was out, seeing what people wear, and it didn't feel right how the clothes came and felt on my body. It just felt low quality. It didn't feel like I was proud to wear it. And I remember thinking to myself while I was working out, while I was putting in the work at the gym, I remember that exact moment that I had the realization that a lot of brands were super expensive, or a lot of them just lacked in quality, and actual design was just boring. And while I was working out, I was honestly thinking, the only thing that I could think of was, how can I create something of my own that will have people proud to wear my own pieces? And the biggest thing, to make me proud of my work. Having an idea is already the easiest part. It's like you're basically halfway there to building your brand. Honestly, the hardest part was executing. It was very hard, especially that I'm self-funded, so which means that everything I make, goes back into the business. I started the business with my own money, no investors. So it was 100 times harder for me to start, especially after losing thousands of dollars. I had no clue where I was going to go next. It was kind of like, if I start this ecom brand, there's either two ways it's going to go. I'm going to put it in my 100%, and I'm going to push through all the down moments, all the bad moments, all the upsetting moments that I couldn't even go to bed thinking about it. And I'm going to push through it and have Lift Apparel become a major success worldwide. Or the second option was that I'm going to 100% put in my effort and money into it, but if the things get worse, like business goes bad or something goes wrong, I get scammed by a manufacturer, because back then I didn't know how to find a good manufacturer. So if I did get scammed by a manufacturer, I was going to quit. That was the second option. And once again, I started thinking, with not much money to my name, I was thinking of, I really do have to make a change. I can't be the average 9-to-5 worker. Like, it's not in my blood. I can't. It doesn't feel right at all, to be honest. Like, I just have a entrepreneurial mindset that I need to be successful, and I'll do anything to make myself successful, obviously legally. But it was just that mindset that honestly kept me going, and now I'm here almost a year and a half later in the business, a year and 2 months, and it's been a crazy journey. I still remember to this day, a year and 2 months later, of me not knowing how to find a manufacturer, for example, me not knowing how to communicate to manufacturers, me not even knowing the slang that they use, like MOQ, which obviously now I know for minimum order quantity, but back then I didn't know nothing. I was like a brain that was just like dead, like nothing. I had to learn everything by myself, in my own room, locked in my own room, learning, building, scaling. I was on my own. And I said it earlier, but I'm gonna say it again so you guys can understand it, that I had moments in the beginning especially where I thought I was gonna quit. I lost thousands of dollars. I didn't make any money at all, and I was like, damn, this is the reality of an entrepreneur. Am I gonna take it that way and take a loss and end my whole entrepreneurial journey, or am I gonna take it not as a fail but as a learning lesson to improve for the next time? And luckily I chose the second option of improving and learning from my mistakes. That is when I started researching how clothing brands actually work. I've done a bunch of YouTube videos, probably over 50 hours of just YouTube videos alone, learning about designs, learning about clothing brand overall, learning about manufacturing, anything you can name of, I thought of, and I searched up on YouTube and watched hundreds of YouTube videos on, because I didn't want to quit. A lot of my fails were learning what was wrong and improving it the next time so it doesn't happen. I messed up, I learned, and then I tried again. I would have never been here if I just quit and said, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm quitting. This is the end of my journey. I'm not being an entrepreneur anymore. I would have never been here sitting talking to you guys right now. I even remember the moments on my Instagram that when someone tagged me just wearing my shirt at the gym, it felt so surreal. It felt like a crazy moment. Like, it felt like I was one of the big brands in the clothing industry. It was such a surreal moment, and such a moment of excitement and joy and happiness from what I started with to now is absolutely crazy. It still feels crazy that people wear my clothes every day at the gym. It's such a crazy moment to think about how far I came from reselling candy as a 14-year-old middle schooler to now, 5 years later, still building a legacy. And this video is really meant for a sit down and talk to you guys to just showcase the real truth of entrepreneurship, because it's not all the good. There's a lot of bad moments, but what matters is how you cope with those bad moments, is how you learn and how you improve. That's why I started this channel, because I want to document everything, all the raw footage that goes on day to day in business, in real life, in just a way that I can showcase you guys everything and help you guys learn and help you guys build as well.